A routine flight across the ocean turns into a nightmare when a hidden mistake causes a chain reaction of disasters. A burning cargo hold, a plane breaking apart in the sky, a deadly crash into the ocean, and a group of survivors trapped between rising water and hungry sharks. This is the story of Deep Water, 2026, a survival thriller where passengers must fight against nature, fear, and each other to stay alive. So, let's break down the complete story. The movie begins at a bar in Los Angeles, where veteran pilot Rich celebrates his final flight before retirement by singing karaoke with his friends. Meanwhile, First Officer Ben receives a call from his wife. She is angry because he promised to come home but changed his schedule again. Ben explains that the flight schedule changed, but the truth is different. He has been intentionally choosing certain flights to avoid going back home. The next morning, passengers arrive at the airport. Among them is Dan, a careless passenger who ignores safety rules. After being caught smoking, he simply lights another cigarette when nobody is watching. His tablet battery is almost dead, so he connects it to a power bank and places both items inside his suitcase. During check-in, he is asked if his luggage contains any batteries, but he lies and says no. At the gate, several passengers begin their journey. Cora, a young girl who is afraid of flying, struggles with anxiety. Her father Declan fails to calm her down, so Ben tries to comfort her by explaining that flying is safer than many everyday activities. Elsewhere, esports player Lily accidentally bumps into Hutch, a wrestler who constantly mocks gamers. Hutch starts provoking her until her teammate Sam steps in to defend her. Before the situation gets worse, Hutch's coach pulls him away. Inside the cockpit, Ben notices a problem in the technical report. One of the aircraft fans is not working properly, and he believes they should delay the flight. However, Rich resets the system and decides they should continue. Ben performs extra safety checks, but Rich criticizes him for overthinking everything. After takeoff, Rich jokes about Ben's aggressive personality and reveals that his temper once caused problems during his Air Force career. For a short time, everything seems normal. Passengers relax, talk, and enjoy the flight. Sam tells Lily that their team almost lost their previous game because of her complicated planning. Although they won, he reminds her that teamwork is more important. Lily asks why Sam is afraid to read the letter she gave him. He promises that he will read it after they land. Meanwhile, Cora becomes uncomfortable watching her father and stepmother Jaya acting romantically. While the couple goes to the bathroom, their son Finn gets lost searching for them. A passenger named Matt notices Finn and tries to distract him by showing him a game. But the biggest danger is already beginning. Inside the cargo hold, Dan's power bank overheats. The device catches fire, and the flames quickly spread through the luggage compartment. An alarm sounds in the cockpit. Ben activates the fire suppression system, but it fails to control the flames. The pilots request an emergency landing at the nearest airport. Crew members enter the cargo area and try to extinguish the fire, but the flames become stronger. Suddenly, the burning cargo container breaks loose and crashes into fuel tanks. An explosion tears through the aircraft. The impact damages the plane's structure and creates a massive hole. The aircraft begins losing pressure and drops rapidly. A fuel tank breaks through the cabin floor, flying across the plane and killing a passenger. Objects are thrown everywhere as oxygen masks fall from the ceiling. Cora is nearly sucked out of the aircraft, but Lily manages to grab her just in time. Everyone puts on oxygen masks, but Declan and Jaya remain unconscious. After struggling to regain control, Rich stabilizes the aircraft. He informs passengers about the emergency and announces that they are diverting toward Guam. However, the situation becomes worse. The damaged cargo container is pulled out of the aircraft and hits an engine. The engine catches fire and explodes, creating another hole in the cabin. Passengers and seats are thrown toward the opening. Inside the cockpit, Ben realizes that half of their instruments are gone. They are running out of options. The second engine starts failing. The aircraft loses power, and the pilots activate the emergency backup system. But it is not enough. Rich and Ben dump the remaining fuel and prepare for a dangerous emergency landing. Rich tells everyone to brace for impact. Passengers cry, pray, and hold on to each other. Ben and Rich disagree about the landing technique. Ben warns that Rich's method could cause the plane to flip. Finally, Rich trusts Ben's plan. Using all his experience, Rich controls the damaged aircraft and successfully lands on the ocean. But the danger is not over. The plane slides across the water and crashes into a coral reef. The impact breaks the aircraft into multiple sections. Water violently floods the cabin, killing many passengers.
Soon, only a few survivors remain.
Lily manages to escape the wreckage, but when she reaches floating debris, a shark attacks her. She struggles to escape and survives, but the injury leaves a painful scar. Inside the broken aircraft, Ben tries to wake Rich. They realize the coral reef caused more damage than expected.
Rich is trapped by metal and badly injured.
Ben tries using an emergency axe to free him, but it is impossible. Rich accepts that he will not survive. Before the water reaches him, he says goodbye to Ben and Penny. After locking himself inside, Rich holds a picture of his family and sings his favorite song. Moments later, the windows break, and the water takes him away.
The remaining survivors begin searching for a way out. In the tail section, Zoe, Matt, Finn, and Becky are trapped.
Matt believes staying there means certain death, so he volunteers to search for help.
He escapes through the plane and reaches the surface.
There, he finds Declan floating with Jaya's body.
Before Matt can react, a shark attacks Declan. Meanwhile, Ben finds an emergency transmitter inside the plane.
The survivors finally have a chance to call for rescue. Ben prepares to leave with the transmitter but notices Cora searching for her father. He gives the transmitter to Dan and rushes to save her. A shark suddenly jumps toward Cora, but Ben pulls her away in time.
However, another wave hits the plane and several survivors fall into the water. The transmitter is lost. Sam notices Hutch is unconscious and risks his life to save him. Two sharks surround them, but Ben and Jim arrive with a raft and rescue them. Back in the tail section, Zoe realizes there is almost no air left.
She takes Finn and escapes through the flooded cabin.
After reaching the surface, they discover a raft. But when Zoe tries to save Finn, a shark attacks her.
She survives but loses a lot of blood.
Finn desperately calls for help while sharks attack the raft. Hours later, a rescue helicopter finally discovers the survivors.
Everyone celebrates, but the rescue attempt quickly becomes another disaster.
A diver enters the water but is attacked by sharks.
The helicopter struggles to pull her out. The damaged rope system causes the helicopter to crash into the ocean.
The impact throws survivors into the water again. Just when hope seems lost, a Chinese fishing trawler arrives.
However, the reef prevents the ship from getting closer. The survivors must row towards safety, but during the chaos, they lost their paddles.
Ben notices Cora is missing. She is standing on sinking debris.
Ben jumps into the water and rescues her. Cora refuses to leave because she still hopes her father is alive. Ben reminds her that her father would want her to be brave.
As they swim toward the trawler, sharks surround them. Ben uses the last flare to kill one shark.
The captain notices the flare and orders the crew to release their fish catch. The sharks immediately leave the survivors and attack the fish instead. Meanwhile, Dan finds floating cigarettes. He tries to smoke one, but his lighter fails. Suddenly, a shark attacks him and pulls him underwater.
By morning, the trawler finally rescues the survivors.
Sam tells Lily that her letter was lost in the ocean.
Lily says he already knows what she wanted to say.
Despite the rules against teammates dating, they share an emotional moment.
Cora continues mourning her family. When phones regain signal, she uses Finn's tracking device to locate him. The crew follows the signal and finds Finn and Zoe alive. The siblings reunite emotionally. Cora finally apologizes.
Ben later looks at pictures of his son and reveals that his son has cancer. Realizing what truly matters, Ben calls his family and promises that he is coming home. And that was the complete story of Deep Water, 2026, a terrifying survival journey where one small mistake created a disaster thousands of feet above the ocean. If you enjoyed this movie recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more movie explanations.
Thanks for watching.